So hey my loves, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm basically just talking about my new camera. So recently I was able to get the Sony A6700, and that is currently what I'm using to film right now. So I decided to do like a 1 month, it's been a couple of weeks, but I want to say 1 month review after using it for this time, and just to give like my 2 cents and a review coming from a YouTuber and a content creator. So again, quick disclaimer, I am just a content creator. I am not a professional videographer or professional photographer or any of those things, okay? I'm just a tiny girl who loves to film with a camera as opposed to an iPhone. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving my review about this camera and why I love it so far and why I hate it at the same time. But a little of the it's not that bad. Okay, so basically what drove me into getting a new camera. So I was looking out for 3 things. Before I got this camera, I used to use the Canon 750D, which is like the Canon T6i, and honestly that camera lasted me like a good time. It was really nice to use and everything. It was good at the time, right? We can all agree to that. The quality, you wouldn't even know. Most of the videos that I created on Instagram were made with that camera, and the quality was good up until like I want to say a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And I would just be filming videos and it would stop focusing on me. It would take a while. It would take a struggle to get the focus to be on me. Or let's say I want to focus something, it would take such a long time for the focus to get on that product, and I was just like, no, I shouldn't be stressed like this. I'm already stressed picking up myself to film, then when I'm filming you don't want to stress me on top. No. Okay, so I was like, yeah, I need to start scouting for a new camera. So there were 3 things that I was looking out for when getting a new camera. So I was looking out for, number 1, a good autofocus. Okay, I needed you to pick on me like this, and I needed a good product showcase focus as well, if that makes sense. So that's one of the things I was looking out for. Secondly, I was looking out for good quality. I wanted crisp, clear quality. With the Canon 750D that I was using before, it wasn't a clear footage, and honestly that would make me do so much sharpening post-production in Final Cut Pro, and it just made my videos look cringy. Like it was just, the quality was just very odd, because I would try to sharpen it just so that it could have like a clear I just got fed up and I was like, you know what, it's time to get like a new one, right? So that was the second thing that I was looking out for, crisp, clear quality. And then thirdly, I really wanted to get into this wave of color grading my videos. Okay, so I was looking out for a camera that lets me film in log, so like to get like a log footage, if that makes sense. I'm not a professional photographer, so I'm not going to be using the terms right or something, but just bear with me. Okay, so I really wanted to film in S-Log. So what this camera gives me is S-Log 3 and a couple other ones, but I use S-Log 3, and that's what I use to film. So that way it gives me a flat footage from the camera, but then in post-production in Final Cut Pro or in whatever editing software you're using, you can definitely play around with the colors more, as opposed to filming straight on. You're very much limited as to how your footage will come out when you're color grading. So it gives you a flat file, and then you can add all the colors back however you want it in post-production. Now I wanted this because I really wanted to start color grading my videos and just playing around with colors, and so far it's been going well. I love it, and it's very intriguing and very exciting to learn about colors and how everything works, color grading and stuff like that. So these are like the 3 main reasons why I wanted to get a new camera, and this camera that I'm filming with fits into all 3, along with other things that I'm going to be mentioning. In terms of autofocus, let me get a product real quick. Okay, so I grabbed the quickest product I could find, and I'm just going to show you guys how quick, although you can adjust it. So the autofocus of this camera, you can definitely adjust the sensitivity and the speed and everything. So with this speed right now, this is how quick it's going to pick up the products that I'm trying to show you, and then it goes back to my face. Now compare this to what my previous camera was doing. Like, come on now. So we're gonna try that again, and Come on now. This is what I want you to do for me when I tell you to autofocus. Like, I need you to be that quick. Like, I don't have time to waste. Okay? And you can definitely adjust the sensitivity. So give me 1 second. Let me do that and show you guys how this is the fastest sensitivity and the fastest speed you can autofocus. But let's say you're doing a vlog or like a slow-mo or something, and you want the transition from one thing to another thing to be soft, then you can dial it down and make it like a soft transition. I'm going to show you what exactly I mean right now. Okay, so I've gone ahead to adjust the settings on the camera. What I've done is I've slowed down the sensitivity and I've slowed down like the speed. So let's see how that works. And you see that soft transition right there. It's not as quick as the previous one, but if you want your product to be picked up quick, you're gonna leave it at the highest, okay? But this is a lot more subtle and soft in terms of the transitioning, okay? So yeah, so let's do that again. This one is a lot more soft in the transitioning. It's not quick as the previous one. Focus on me and on the product. Okay, so you can definitely play around with the sensitivity and the speed depending on what you're filming and how quick you want to transition. Okay, so in terms of the quality of the videos that you're going to be creating, this lets you film in 4K HD and a couple other ones, but I know as content creators, we're really looking for something that can film in 4K. Personally, I feel like 4K takes too much space. If you don't have space, if you don't have memory space, you can definitely still film in HD. I don't think it's a big difference. But yeah, so with 4K, you are able to film at multiple frame rates. Feel free to play around with it depending on if you're filming slow motion or if you are filming like a regular video. You have different frame rates to play around with in 4K. Not every camera gives you that option or that many options when you're filming with 4K. Okay, so yeah, now we'll go into all the other features that I feel just makes this the perfect camera for me. Now, first of all, it is a hybrid. I feel like it's the perfect hybrid camera for content creators. Maybe not professional videographers, because I've watched a couple of videos and a lot of them have some things to say based on their line of work. So let's say they're filming for wedding photo shoots, it doesn't let them use like multiple SD cards, it just has one slot, and for them that is a big downside to them, because imagine you're filming someone's big day and then your memory card crashes or something, you need to have like backup. So that is their own. But for content creators, I think it's a perfect hybrid camera. It lets you film good quality videos and it takes very good pictures as well. And then secondly, in terms of the autofocus, that's not even the best part. It has target recognition. It has a target. So let's say a human being, that's the most common one with this camera. You're shooting a human being, it will stay on that human being or that person, even if you're running, even if a car comes and crosses you or a bike comes and runs in front of you, it will keep that focus on you because it has that target and you are the target. So it also has targets for other things like planes, objects like insects, animals. So I mean, if you are also someone who likes to film like wildlife and you're filming like an animal or anything, it keeps the animal in focus, which I think is a good thing. Did I even mention? I didn't mention it already. This camera has AI features. Like, come on now. It has AI features, which we'll also still get into. But yeah, the target recognition feature is something that I love. I know that I'm always going to be in frame and always in focus. Thirdly is the build of the camera. It is not heavy. On its own, it's not heavy. It is quite lightweight, maybe a bit bigger than the Sony ZV-1. Which I was using before, almost the same size but a little bit smaller than the Canon 750D that I also was using before. Build is quite compact and it has a good grip as well, but when you start adding the lenses onto it, it is a bit heavy, but not heavy to the point that you can't carry it around. And honestly, I've been thinking about it. When I was thinking about this, I was like, do I get like all those tiny cameras that people are talking about these days? And I was like, when people do like heavy duty jobs, like you go out for photo shoots and you go out for studio shoots, you don't see them carrying all these tiny cameras because they want good quality out of that camera and they go for like the good big cameras, not those tiny ones you use. And I was like, see, let me just get the big one, and I know that my quality is going to be up to bar, you know. And yeah, that's how I ended up buying this camera. It is perfect for sit down videos, it is perfect for vlogs. It's not as heavy, like I said, and the lens that I decided to pair this with is the Sigma 18mm to 50mm f2.8. so that one lets me, I got this lens because I can work with it for vlogs, which is like the 18mm, and then that one gives you like a wide range, if that makes sense. And then I can also work with the 50mm when it comes to like sit down content like this, like makeup or hair, because that one really crops into my face, okay, and crops me in. So that's why I went for that one, because yeah, I didn't want to have like separate lenses. I just wanted to get one beginner lens that I can use for multiple things and be able to zoom in and zoom out when I please. So another good thing that I love about this camera is the self timer. It has a self timer for pictures, and I love this because if I'm out filming by myself, I can just put on the timer and then go out and take pictures. Click the timer there, run to the front of the camera, pose and take a picture. Okay, so you don't need to have someone taking pictures for you, which I love. And you don't have to like have like connect it to a Bluetooth. I think you should be able to connect it to like a Bluetooth remote, but just having the feature on there on its own is a good thing for me. Okay, my previous camera didn't have that. So I'm not sure it has the feature for video. I will confirm, but I think it should. But even if it doesn't, like when you're doing a video, you can always crop out the first part and then just start the video from where you want, if that makes sense, in post-production. Then the basics, again, just like with the build and everything, it has like a flip up screen, so it's perfect for vlogging again, and the screen is touch screen. The Sony ZV-1, which I used to use for vlogging, I still have the camera, but I prefer this for vlogging now. It has like this one has touch screen, so I can touch the screen and navigate the screen by just touching it. But the Sony ZV-1 doesn't have a touch screen, and that was very frustrating. But yeah, this one is a perfect one. It's a perfect one in terms of that. Again, this camera lets you film time lapses. So in terms of, let's say you want to make like a time lapse of sunset or sunrise, or you're in a train station and you want to get like a time lapse of something, like you can film that with this camera. It allows you to lock the exposure. Now this is something that I'm still trying to figure out for videos, but I know that you can lock the exposure when you're taking pictures, but I really want to figure it out for videos because I film with sunlight and I love filming with sunlight because it's just a natural glow. I just love the soft effect it gives. This right now is studio light, but personally I love that soft natural look from the sun. But the thing with that is the sun is like this, so a cloud can cover the sun and then your video goes dim, or the sun comes out bright and it's too bright. So I've been looking for something or some way to lock the exposure when I'm filming such videos. I'm still trying to figure it out with this camera. I know it's possible, but I've just not gotten around to it. Again, it's just 1 month that I've been with this camera, so I'm still learning a lot about it, but this is just like my basic first review. Okay, another thing that I love, it is wireless. My previous camera had this tiny white cord that I would have to connect, because right now I can show you real quick, but I'm filming with my laptop right here, so I can literally see myself. I can see I can see what I'm filming, and there is no cord whatsoever, so it's wireless. My previous camera was not like that. I had to use a tiny cord, and that means I would have to keep my camera way over there, and sometimes I won't be able to see what I'm doing because it's still far. But this one, I can have it up close to me, even if I have like a tiny table here and I'm seeing what I'm doing, because there's no cord to connect. So it's wireless, and you can connect it to your smartphone, you can connect it to your laptop, as long as you have the app. There's this app that Sony has for their cameras. I think it's the Imaging Edge app. And then last, well, this is not the last thing, but again, it has this AI feature that allows you to auto frame. Basically, if you're in a talking video and you're trying to film yourself and you're just talking and just moving about, what the camera does is it's not moving, the camera is where it is, but then it would crop it in a way that it looks like someone is following you with a camera. Now that is crazy. It's not something that I might use all the time because most times I'm doing sit down videos and vlogs. I rarely just stand and then move around talking. But if you're someone who does that kind of content, it will look like, you know, someone is following you with a camera, but the camera is just right where it is. It's the AI feature that is literally just cropping it to make it look like someone is videoing you as you're moving, which I think is insane. Like, trust me. So it has memory recall and it has face memory. So basically you can register your face. So let's say now I'm in a dinner party, or you want to film like a birthday celebration and you want to keep the focus to be on the celebrant. You can register that celebrant's face and it would always pick on their face. It will always keep the focus on them, something like that. But yeah, it has face memory. It would always pick up on your face wherever you are in the video. And it also has memory recall to recall all the settings that you've done. It has a couple of custom buttons where you can save the settings that you're using. So like right now, I think it has like three of those custom setting buttons. So right now what I'm doing is I'm filming with two lights, like indoor with two lights. So anytime I want to film, I just need to put it on that setting and sit down and film. I'm not starting to recalibrate again. I'm not starting to change settings and adjust settings. It's just saved for me, and all I need to do is just come, sit down and start filming. As long as I don't change the light setup. If I change the light setup, then I might have to change wherever it is, but I use the same light setup, just two lights, one overhead light, and my windows are closed right now, except I want to film with sunlight. But yeah, it saves my setting to one button, and all I need to do is just turn it to that one and I can sit down and start filming. I don't have to keep on adjusting settings every single time I want to make a video, if that makes sense. These are like the best things that I love about this camera. So now the downsides to this is, I want to say this camera is a big man, big problem camera. So it's not just okay to buy the camera, you have to buy a lens. And the lenses that are compatible with this camera, they are not cheap. They are not cheap at all. So you need to be able to put your mind and just condition your mind that you're going to spend money. If you're buying this camera, you're going to spend money on accessories, because the memory card you're going to use, if you want to get that crisp, clear quality that you bought it for, so like 4K and all of that, you need a good camera that can take 4K footage, and those ones are not cheap. I did not know that memory cards were expensive until I started buying memory cards, and they're not cheap. Again, 4K footage takes a lot of space. That's why I would personally just prefer to film in HD, but it depends. Like right now I'm filming in 4K, but sometimes I film in HD as well. But it is what it is. Just be ready to spend money when you buy the camera. It didn't come with a charger, which I don't appreciate at all. Sony, why? So but I was able to charge it with my iPhone 15 charger, which I think is a USB type C or something, but that's what I've been using to charge this. Now I've gone ahead to order a charger and 2 extra batteries, mainly because the battery is good, like it's pretty standard, but again, if you're out and about and if you're filming multiple videos in a day, you don't want to stop, go and charge, come back. Like you just need to have like multiple batteries. So I ordered 2 more batteries and 1 charger to charge them. So these are the extra costs that come with owning a big camera. So if you're thinking of switching from your phone to a camera, please or if you're thinking of switching from a smaller camera to a bigger camera, just be ready for all of this extra costs. Okay. And again, I figured that I might need an ND filter to put on the lens, so like a variable one, not the standard one, like a variable ND filter that lets me film outside. And let's say I'm filming with sunlight and it gets too bright, I can use an ND filter with this lens and just dial it down and then it gets better. So I've ordered that as well. So these are like the extra things that I've had to order with this camera that I honestly didn't think I was gonna use or need, but I think I had an idea that I was going to buy extra batteries, but the ND filter, like the charger, why doesn't it come with a charger at least? Like, well, anyways, these are some of the cons that I've experienced with it. And then lastly, I wouldn't say this is a beginner friendly camera. If you're switching from your phone to this camera, you're gonna have to invest in a lot of YouTube videos because you need to watch a lot of videos. Trust me, I've had to unlearn, relearn, and learn more in terms of this camera. And it just has me asking myself, like, girl, did you know anything about cameras in the past? No, because all that you knew does not relate to this. But I mean, I have a little bit of knowledge with cameras, but it's like I'm relearning how to use a camera with this camera because it's not beginner friendly. You need to learn how to use it and maximize it. So be ready if you want to get this camera to learn and watch a lot of YouTube videos to be able to maximize and get the best out of it. So currently I feel like I'm in terms of like maximizing this camera, I think I'm currently on like 50%. Trust me, the quality can even be better. I can get a better lens, I can do more things, but straight out, like just using it, and this is like the first month using it, this is what it's looking like. I can get better lenses, I can get, you know, like anything, I can add some more settings on there and makes it look better, but this is just the basics. But yeah, basically that is pretty much it about this camera. Again, I'm not a professional in terms of this thing, so if you were expecting to hear like the professional or technical terms, all those numbers and APS-C camera, full frame camera, go and watch from someone who is more experienced. I was just talking from a content creator perspective, and this is what I feel. In the next 5 years, I'm definitely gonna still be able to use this camera to get good quality, and it's a new camera that Sony released, I think in 2023 last year. So it's a new camera, pretty expensive, but I looked at it as an investment rather. And yeah, the previous one that I had, that is a Canon 750D. When I got it, it was already an old camera when I got it. So I mean, it's best you buy a recent camera that can last you for the next couple years, and which is why I just had to close my eyes, spend the money, and invest back into my business, back into my craft, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is pretty much it about this video, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Let me know your thoughts on the camera, let me know your thoughts on the quality, and let me know if you have any questions. It does not overheat so far. It hasn't done that for me. I think there was a setting though I had to do. I learned it from this guy. I'm gonna put this guy's name here. He is the one that has taught me the best things I know now about this camera. So I learned from him how to stop the overheating if you ever get overheating, but I've not experienced it because I have that setting on. But yeah, check out his page. He really helped me to set up this camera, and yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much it about the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Like it if you enjoyed it, and if you want more content creation tips, because I'm coming with them. But let me know your thoughts and let me know what you would like specifically. But yeah, that is pretty much it about this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, my loves.